Have you ever felt like you were running on empty? Like, man, I don't have anything else left to give. It is called burnout. Burnout is relentless, it's real. It makes you feel like, you have nothing left, like you've run out of steam. It makes you feel hopeless. And it also makes you feel ashamed because you feel like you cannot operate at the level that you should be operating at in comparison to your peers or whatever the case is. It is a thing. And so I have had the opportunity to like sort of do some soul searching and have time to think and kind of unpack, what's been going on. And I think there's also like a certain level of shame around that, when you feel like you have to take a step back and you feel like you have to sort of evaluate. I think there's sort of a shame around that that says like you can't cut it. You're not as strong as the rest, and everything like that. But it's not it shouldn't be. There shouldn't be shame around that because it's natural. Like, we are human beings, we're not robots. We have to give ourselves a chance to grow, and we have to give ourselves a chance to discover. And it's okay to take the time to do that. I think that most people, because society gives like a stigma around burnout, around not being able to continuously operate at the same level and continuously to achieve, et cetera, because there is a stigma around burnout and not constantly, if you're not able to constantly achieve, constantly level up, constantly, do all the things, people push themselves to the limits. And I can't tell you how many people that I have heard of and people that I've known that had some level of nervous breakdown, what they call it. I don't even know exactly what a nervous breakdown is, but I could imagine, you just not being yourself and you just can't take it anymore. And you just have to like, you just kind of fall into an extreme deep depression or some sort of hysteria because you cannot just go on. And I think that we need to normalize feeling overwhelmed so that people have an opportunity to say before they reach the level of breaking down, so that people have an opportunity to say, hey, I need some space, I need some time. Like, certain industries do recognize that, like mental health industries, they have mental health days. Um, Teachers have like sabbaticals and things like that. We need to sort of normalize that a bit more so that people can have more balanced experiences in life. And so that's why I wanted to kind of share that here today. For a while, I didn't realize that I was kind of going through burnout over the course of maybe like a year or 2 years. It was getting more and more. And I just kept tweaking things in my life to kind of like try to deal with it, try to cope, and trying to make everything work better for me. But because I didn't take the time to really stop and evaluate what was kind of going on and really dive a little bit deeper into that, I ended up, just continuously coming back to the place of burnout, mentally, physically, emotionally, just not, feeling empty, just feeling like I'm running on fumes and not feeling like my best self, not being my best personality. I would put it on when I had to for, clients um, or like being in social environments or whatever the case is, I will put it on. But then inside, or after that particular encounter, I would just really feel so drained. And there was a period of time that I felt like I couldn't even focus or anything like that. And it was just a journey, right? So I had shared with you all that I had decided to close my business. And so in doing so and like winding down and all that stuff, I have had a lot of time over the past couple of months to basically do some soul searching and figure out what the hell do I want to do with my life. I came and started being consistent here on YouTube, which has been really, really good for me. It's cathartic. It's, I feel like I'm helping. I feel like I'm on purpose. So that's all wonderful. But I needed to have the time to really do that authentically, because when you have so much decisions that you're making every day, you have so much responsibility, you have so many individuals that you're responsible for, you don't really get to free your mind, right? Even when you're taking a break, you're still kind of super involved. So I didn't have the time to kind of do that. And over the past couple of months, I have been able to do that. And I've learned some things. I discovered the power of finding peace within myself, right? Peace within myself. And of course, I tapped into my faith to find that peace. But I recognized that one of the things that was really frustrating me or causing me stress and burnout and feeling like I always had to run 100 miles an hour is because I was disqualifying all of the good things in my life. So any achievement that I had, I'd be like, yeah, but what's next? Right? Like, oh yeah, that's cool, but what else can I do next? Or how can I do the next big thing? What's the next big thing? Or yeah, that's great, I did that, but I didn't do this, or look what this other person did, and my thing is just not that impressive, right? So I was just doing that and disqualifying the good. And with that, you never feel like you've achieved anything. You never feel like you sort of arrived at anything. So it does make you feel like you're running up a hill and you haven't really, made any sort of progress or any headway. So I wouldn't even recognize my accomplishments and my achievements, and that is exhausting. So I had shared recently on this channel the book that I read, Feeling Good, Feeling Good. And it kind of brings you through all of these mental distortions that we tend to have that cause us to be sad and sometimes to be depressed, and some people severely. And so that's what I learned from that book, is that, oh man, you really need to celebrate the wins. You got to celebrate the small wins. It's extremely important, because if you do not acknowledge those things, then you're going to constantly be trying to reach a goal where the goalpost is being moved. So imagine you're running a race, and then every time you think you're about to finish the race, they move the finish line, right? Imagine how exhausting that would be, mentally, emotionally, physically, all those things. That contributes to burnout. So you can minimize that or alleviate that by recognizing and celebrating even the small things. And I think especially the small things, because then we train ourselves to say, okay, you did a good job. And as you continue to train yourself to say, okay, you did a good job, your confidence starts to be built, and you're not as and you're more content with what you have. That is a huge thing, not feeling content with the things that we have. I heard a pastor talking about it, and we never pay attention to enough. We don't focus on enough. And I think focusing on what's enough, what's good, right? And I don't mean by that, don't strive, don't elevate, don't achieve. Absolutely, you should if you want to. But don't disqualify the good, and don't focus on your striving only, right? Spend more time, most of your time, on being grateful where you are and what you have and what you have accomplished. And the more will come naturally, but we shouldn't be always focusing on the more. I don't know, that's just what I learned through this process. Once I started celebrating the small wins, I have found a lot more peace and joy that was already there. It was already present here in the moment. Everything was already there. But because I was like out here focusing on next and more, I was not able to experience this joy and happiness that was present. Another thing that I was focused on was, comparison. And we know that, comparison is truly the thief of joy, because you cannot be happy and joyful in the things that you've accomplished, because you're focusing on other people's accomplishment and comparing yourself to that. And I heard something recently from a book called Excellent Advice for Living by Kevin Kelly. He says that don't compare your inside to someone else's outside, right? So don't compare your life, who you are as a person, what your hopes and dreams and joys and everything is about, to what you see on the exterior of other people. And also, if you look at other people's lives, you cannot cherry pick what you want from other people's lives and their accomplishments. You have to take the whole entire life, right? And you never know what people's journey is. You never know what it costs them to get what they have, because everything has a cost. I used to be a person that believed that you can have it all. You can have the high achieving, high level career. You can have the family, the marriage, the this, or that. it's a balancing act. Things have to get tweaked. The levels, I think of this as like, if you ever seen like a music, I don't want to say like a board where it has like the different levels of volume and bass and treble and blah, blah, blah. You have to tweak it to get the right measurement, right? And so I think in life, what I've learned is that you also have to tweak the levels, right? You can have a great career, but you might have to bring down the level if you want to have a good marriage and be a good parent and do all the things. You can have a bit of everything, but you can't have everything at the highest level, right? So it takes balancing. And so don't try to have what other people have. Don't envy that, because it's not necessarily going to serve you. Even if you were able to say, yeah, give me that, you might have to give up some things that are really near and dear to your heart that you really love. So we have to choose, right? We have to choose what we want, and it's okay to choose what is right for you and happy and joyful for you, your level of success, and not necessarily what other people have and want. And bottom line is, don't compare yourself. That has helped me in learning to run my own race and not do things because other people in my field are doing things, or other business owners are doing things, or other moms or other couples. Don't do things for that reason. Do things that are fulfilling to you, that is your true desire, and be content with that level of enough, right? If that's what you truly want, it's okay. And so in finding myself and focusing on purpose, I've realized that life is not about striving for some arbitrary level of success, right? It's about striving for and finding contentment and joy in the level of success that's right for you and what you hold most near and dear. It's about living authentically and doing the things that are right for you, your family, your loved ones, and definitely not for others and what other people think you should be doing, where they think you should be in your life, the opportunities they think you should be going after. It's not about that. It's about living authentically and doing the things that you should be doing for you. And then I also found a lot of peace in my faith, which I have realized is not separate from my professional life and my personal life. It's all in one, right? Being able to layer those things on and really be who I am spiritually and professionally is like the sweet spot. When I get to work with my clients and sometimes randomly, depending on the circumstance, especially because I do estate planning and there's death involved. Sometimes it's a very vulnerable space. I'm able to, marry my faith or my knowledge from my faith, my compassion. I'm able to marry that, and I realize like that's a gift for me, right? That's a gift. I'm operating in purpose there because those things sort of all fit together, and I love that. And I used to try to stifle that and hide that, but now that I'm in my authentic space, I don't have to do that anymore. Right? And it's freeing to really live your life in a way that's authentic to you and not caring about the opinions of others or the judgment of others or whatever it is, just like being who you were created to be. Bottom line is, life is too short to be stressed and overwhelmed and overworked. We really need to find that balance. Longevity is the key, right? To really discover what life is all about, to be able to marry our passions with the thing that we do every day, to how we are of service in the world. All those things matter. And for me, I've realized. So I was going to title this video, I lied, right? Because I said I was building my business and I was on the way to doing that. And then I happened upon, which is what I said to my husband. I was like, hey, I think something happened to me. I happened upon the perfect circumstance. And he's like, this better not be a title of a book. And I was like, no, I actually didn't realize, because in the meantime, while I was trying to figure out, okay, what's my next thing, I was still sort of like taking on clients here and there. And I realized, wow, I like this. I am enjoying myself. I just had to, like I said, tweak the levels. And because I tweaked the levels and there's not so much pressure, I am at a level of enough. Like, this is good. I can still be of service. I can still work with who I want to work with, how I want to work with them. I can reimagine what my business look like. And I don't have to have my business measure up to what other people are doing or how they're doing it. I can do it my way, and it's been fulfilling for me. And I hope that it's been impactful for my clients as well. So yeah, that's what I'm doing these days. That's how I'm sort of like refreshing and renewing. And I still have it doesn't take up my entire life and existence anymore. And I am able to pursue my other passions and do things that I like this. And so it's good. Don't be afraid to be who you are, how you are, without looking outside, right? Like I said, look inside, do things for you, be authentic, and there is a path and a way out of burnout. You just have to not be afraid to get there. Be brave and walk your own walk and follow your own journey. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you for being here. Let me know in the comments if this has been helpful to you and all that good stuff. I love connecting with you every week. New videos out every Monday. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Helps the channel grow. And you could also check out my Be Inspiration channel, which is my faith-based channel where I share all of my emotional and spiritual journey with God and growth. And it definitely helps my audience. Is growing at a snail's pace, but it's okay. It's a labor of love. So if you're interested, please go ahead and follow that channel as well as this one. I will see you next time.